Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 8 key tips for anxious, preoccupied individuals in friendships. So, this was a topic that I've been getting many requests for quite some time, and obviously, it's a really important topic as well. And a couple things to note before we dive into this are number one, your attachment style can be one way in a romantic relationship and slightly different in a friendship or a family relationship. So let's just say, for example, you might be anxious, preoccupied in your romantic relationships, but secure in friendships. And so it's important to sort of note that. So as you're listening to this, you're assuming, okay, no, my attachment style is carrying over. The vast majority of the time, it is the same, but it's important to sort of check in with the differences and see if this is what you are in friendships. Number two, as I dive into this, this is a really broad topic. So I'm going to go through 8 really important tools, things to keep in mind. What I suggest you do with this video is take out the top 2 or 3 things that apply to you most and use those things and practice them and really implement them in your friendship, relationships, and dynamics. So before I dive in as well, we were doing the very last day of our giveaway. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, write your comment in the section below, and then click the link in the description box and submit your email address. We're giving away 9 full access pass year-long memberships. It gives you access to all of our 45 plus courses, our social events, our morning and evening routines, and the 4 live webinars I do with all the students every single week over video chat. You don't have to have your video on. You can come in without your video too, but it's a great way to sort of interact and grow and learn and see all the practical application of all the different things that you're learning. So check that out. And we will announce winners tomorrow. I won't announce the winners' names, I guess, because I'll be recording before the actual thing is done. I pre-record some videos here and there, but they will be decided on June 14th, and then 9 people will get memberships. So tip number 1, it's really important in your relationships that you get clear about your expectations from the friendships around you. And you want to state these needs and expectations because many people have different expectations of friendships than you will. So, for example, you might take like a dismissive avoidant friend or a secure friend or a fearful avoidant friend, and they may just have slightly lower expectations of friendships because a lot of anxious, preoccupied individuals historically get their needs met from like the outside in instead of the inside out. Whereas when you look at those other attachment styles, all 3 other attachment styles are going to be more focused on getting their own needs met from themselves first, or at least equal to others if we look at a securely attached person. And so what's often going to happen is your expectations of a friendship might be up here, like, oh my goodness, the person should be available every day and all the time. And somebody else might think, oh yeah, we'll chat once a week or twice a week or once every few weeks or once a month or who knows, depending on the person. And it's funny because the other person might really value you and care for you in a friendship. But because there's a difference in expectations and how people, expect friendships to go and what they expect them to look like and feel like and be like, it can create unnecessary conflict unless these conversations are addressed at points in time, obviously, as the friendship is going along and strengthening and the expectations sort of come to a head in these relationship dynamics. Number 2, then what you can do is adjust your expectations accordingly. Like if you are feeling like there's a friend who's just not showing up, you're allowed to cut that friend out of your life. But if you're like, you know what, I have 4 friends in my life, they all expect to talk and hang out less than I do, but they're all really good friends and they really try and they really show up. And when they are here, they're very present. You might just pivot and be like, okay, I'm going to really invest in these 4 different friendships. But I'll talk to different people at different points in time. And what you'll see is that you'll get like your bucket filled very strongly by 4 different people who may make up for that one person who you're expecting to be there a lot more often. And so, you get to decide if you realize, okay, the friendships in my life have different expectations, different boundaries, different ideas of what friendship will be like. You can sort of pivot and decide, how do we meet in the middle, number 1, or number 2, how do I fit these people into my life? Like, do I just have a few people around who are really valuable friends, but I see less often or I speak to less often? Or do you put yourself in a position where you're like, you know what, I expect people to be here, and available every single day. If we can talk every single day, and if they're available for less than that, then I don't want them in my life. And that's okay too. What matters is that you're deciding, and this is point number 3, what context you want people to be in your life within. And really, truly remembering that you can design this part of your life and it's up to you to choose. And you may have like one person who is there all the time, but then a few people who are there less often, but still really show up and really care. So it's really up to you to, like, just those first 3 points are all about understanding your expectations, communicating about them, adjusting if there's something that is different from you in terms of expectations, and then taking that information and designing your life for how you want your relationships to go. And then this brings us to sort of the part 2 here, which is about learning to still have a relationship to yourself while investing in relationships around you. So point number 4 is learn to meet the needs that others are not necessarily available for. Make sure you don't use friendships to just like get a lot of good friends and then use that in a way that like makes it unnecessary to have a relationship to yourself. Because even if you try to do that, what you're going to find is being out of relationship to yourself, you're going to be less in touch with your own needs, less in touch with your own boundaries, and your friendships will feel less fulfilling accordingly. Because if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want from friendships and relationships. And so they're going to be limited in the way that they can really take place for you. So learn to meet your own needs where people aren't available. Number 5, do not abandon yourself. Be true to yourself and make sure in these relationships you're not in a state of people pleasing to win love or approval. Insert yourself. Allow yourself to take up space. Allow yourself to say, I want to go to this place for dinner on Friday, not that place. Allow yourself to communicate this stuff, okay? Number 6, practice tuning into yourself while you're around people. Sometimes anxious preoccupieds will be working on their relationships and working on the relationship to self, but then the moment they're around people, that goes out the window. And it's almost like they get better at spending time alone and having a healthy relationship to themselves when they're alone. But then when it comes to actual like people to people interaction, they go back to those anxious patterns. Make sure that you don't leave yourself out of the mix, and you can still check in with yourself, your feelings, your needs, your likes, your dislikes in real time while around people as well. Number 7, be clear about what your needs are in friendships and be intentional. So let people know, hey, this stuff's important to me. It's important to have vulnerable conversations in friendships. It's important to have somebody who asks me how I'm doing and how my feelings are, or and make sure that you share these things. You're entitled to do this. This is a healthy part of relating, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, anything else. It's important to share your needs. And number 8, know your boundaries. Don't just say yes to everything and everybody around you, because it is a form of self-betrayal. So hopefully this makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you for watching. Let me know any other questions you have in the comments below. Don't forget to sign up for the giveaway, and I will see you in the next video.